finally here. This is Ruwa Organic Farm.
I have so many Africans living in Africa that watch my channel, yeah. On behalf of them, we want to know, is everything okay with you?
You see, this question was a very, very important question.
Everything is okay with me, 100%.
No, how can you live in the UK for 21 years, return back to Africa? See, we are living in a forest, bro. This is not even in town, this is a forest. This is not even close to a village.
You know?
Yes, when I bought this land was like a bush. So when Wadumaya came, all that we could see was grass and trees everywhere. But this is going to change. After years of preparing the land manually, finally, Ruwa Organic has bought a brand new tractor. Will this improve productivity? Will this save me money in the long run? Let's wait and find out. After brief instructions, it was time now to test this in the field. In a very short time, you are able to prepare the land super fast. The land that was once bush was now transforming into a proper farm. In the next few days, I was so excited to see the developments that was on the farm. In fact, I could not get my eyes off the camera. As you know, I'm doing remote farming, so I monitor everything from my cameras on the ground. So what I found very exciting was the fact that I could actually see that the land was being worked on. In fact, if you look very close there, you can see that one of the workers there has the tractor and he's actually working on the land. So what we also did was we bought some chicken manure mixed with grass. So this has a high source of nitrogen. So we added it onto the farm and then we used the tiller from the tractor to make sure that everything was mixed into the soil. So I don't know if I mentioned this, but this tractor, it has three features. It has a plow, it also does ridges, and it also has a tiller. So I'm just going to do this first round of tilling, and then from that moment onwards, we're just going to focus on trying not to use the tractor to do the plowing because we want to do regenerative farming. But you know what I found difficult here is the grass is so stubborn. If you don't keep maintaining it, it grows so fast that it can be very, very difficult to maintain. But so far, I'm super excited by the work that has been done so far and how this tractor has really transformed how we're working at the farm now. Let's see if buying the tractor was a good idea. But before we go into how much the tractor cost, let's first of all talk about how much we're spending on the farm, on the workers. So we pay $5 per day for each worker, sometimes higher when we provide food for them. So at $5 per day, they work 6 days a week, which gives us $30. So we have an average of 5 workers, sometimes 7, depending on how much work we need to cover. But let's work with 5 workers. So that gives us $150 per week. Now, what I noticed with this $150 per week is it dragged on and on and on because they would work really slow and always came up with excuses. So as you can imagine, this went on for months. So we'd say, okay, so where are we covering now? Oh, we're covering from here to there. And sometimes when we ask them, okay, why haven't you finished this? Oh, you know what? There's so many weeds here. We have to clear the weeds here. So there was always something. And, you know, it can be very difficult to really push people to do what you're asking them to do, bearing in mind that the land is massive. It was quite massive. So, you know, in some cases you'll feel really sorry for them because they're in the sun and they're working long hours and so on. So when it comes to the tractor now, the tractor, I think the cost was about $500. I will double check on that, but I think it was about $500. So if you compare now the amount of work the tractor did in a very short space of time, overall, I think we were saving money because all we needed to do was to stop the workers, say for about 3 weeks, and that's $450. So those 3 weeks actually bought the tractor. But the amount of work or the amount of land we managed to prepare with the tractor was massive. I mean, we can't even compare the two because this time around, one worker was able to plow the land, prepare the land much faster than the 5 workers would do in a week. So the work that was done in a week was probably done in half a day. that is how crazy this was. So overall, this was a very, very good idea. So in the end, what happened is we cut the grass on a lot of the land which we wanted to plant vegetables and any other crops. And then we followed with the tractor to go in and plow the land and prepare it, have the ridges done, and also the tiller. I mean, the tiller was quite impressive because we're able to put manure into the ground, and then the tiller would go in and mix everything all up, and then we did the ridges. So at the moment, I'm not really fussy about what I grow there. The main thing is to make the place look like a farm, which is something that if in the beginning of the video you saw when Wadumaya came, the place looked like a bush. I mean, there was nothing there. And if I recall, we did some soil tests and the place, I mean, the soil test was really bad. It was more alkaline, I think. So we had to add things like lime and manure to make it more fertile. We couldn't just grow things on there. So as you can imagine, this has become a very, very, very expensive project because getting the manure, I get 200 bags at about $170. So that's one of the costs as well that we need to factor into making this land fertile. And we also need to add cow manure onto it. And once we've done some soil tests, we're also going to test and see if we need to add lime or limestone onto the land as well. So those are the things that need to be done and prepared on, because we've allocated about almost 2 hectares of land to grow on, because right now we've stopped doing the chickens. We're just now focusing on making the land really, really nice, and also while we are simultaneously building the house, the farmhouse where we're going to be staying. So overall, the tractor really did a very, very good job. It saved us a lot of money in the long run. Of course, we do have a few issues here and there where we need to top up the fuel, but that alone is a minor complaint, because at the end of the day, it had to work on something. So we can't just keep complaining. So I'm super excited about this whole journey. I haven't decided what we're going to put on the ground, because right now we have the covo, which is at the moment close to 1 hectare. So we have 1 hectare of this covo growing on there, and we really haven't started selling a lot because we have different sizes, right? So if it's time to go and harvest, we get the local ladies from Epworth to come and buy the vegetables, and in some cases we get $90 every time they come, which is about $90 a week. But I think once the whole field is ready for harvesting, we should be able to get a lot more than we are getting at the moment. But there's still a lot of work that needs to go into this. Now, while I was really looking at overall what this farm has done for the past 3 years, I mean, really, we haven't made a profit. The money has just been pumped into this project, and we haven't really got return from it, which got me thinking that, I mean, what figure do we have to invest into farming in order for this to really become profitable, and after how long? In my experience, I'm 3 years in. I know, of course, there's certain things that I should have done right and so on and so forth, but in terms of the planting on the ground, it does take a lot of time. I remember buying the seedlings for the covo. I mean, it was, I think, 120 for 10,000 plants, something like that. And we spent, close to 2,000. But right now we are, I mean, it's much better now because we can take, what are they called? When the plant is growing, the covo plant is growing, and then on the side, they have some shoots which you can, remove and then replant them. I forgot what they're called. But anyway, we are now doing that, which means in terms of the cost, it's not costing a lot of money. There was a time where I was thinking of doing onions, but the quote that we got from doing the onions was about close to 6,000 on half a hectare. 6,000 on half a hectare, which makes you wonder, wow. So the farmers that are doing all these vegetables and all these things, they are really spending a lot of money. So this, the starting point or the starting off capital can be highly intensive, but I think in the long run, it pays off. But so far, this hasn't paid off for me. So it's still a journey. I'm still learning. But right now, I'm super excited that the land that looked like a bush is no longer a bush. In fact, we can just go there, have a look, and actually see that there's a lot of progress now on the ground, and it's now really starting to look like a farm. Now, with these plants, it's very easy for me to say, you know what? I've got some money now, get rid of everything, put a new plant in there, and keep on moving. So, anyway, that is my experience so far, and I'm keen to hear your views, your ideas. Have you started working on your land? Have you bought a tractor? How are you monitoring it? And pretty much, if you're doing this covo plant, how is it doing well for you? What can we do to improve this? Share your ideas in the comments box below. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one. Take care.